You have been told migraines are a headache problem. That is the belief most people carry, and it is costing them quietly, repeatedly, every single time one comes back. Because migraines are not a headache. They never were. The medical system treats the pain, the throbbing, the light sensitivity, the nausea, and then sends you home. But the pain is not the event. The pain is the aftermath. And before this video ends, I am going to show you the biological trigger your doctor almost certainly never named, the one that explains why your migraines keep returning no matter what you take, and the one shift, backed by neuroscience, that changes everything once you understand it. Stay with me. You have probably tried the medication, maybe more than one kind, and it helped sometimes, but the migraines came back anyway. So, you started tracking triggers: caffeine, wine, stress, sleep, screens. You cut things out. You adjusted your life around the pain. And still, it returned. Here is what most people in that position are never told. You are not failing to manage your migraines. You are managing the wrong layer of the problem. Because the trigger list, the one every website and every brochure hands you, it describes what can activate a migraine. It does not explain why your brain became sensitive enough to be activated in the first place. That distinction is everything, and almost nobody explains it. Before we go further, if your body has been sending you signals you have been brushing off, subscribe to the health code. Every single week, we translate what your body is trying to tell you into language you can actually understand and use. One subscription could be the reason you catch something early enough to do something about it. Now let me show you what is actually happening inside your brain before the pain even begins. A migraine does not begin with pain. It begins with a wave, specifically a phenomenon called cortical spreading depression. That phrase sounds alarming. It is not. Think of it like a slow electrical wave rolling across your brain's outer surface. It suppresses normal brain activity as it travels, and as it moves, it triggers the release of chemicals that inflame the nerves surrounding your brain. That inflammation is what you feel as pain. The throbbing, the pressure, the sensitivity to light and sound. That is not the migraine starting. That is the migraine finishing what started hours, sometimes days before. This matters because it completely changes what prevention actually means. Research from the National Institute of Neurological Disorders and Stroke confirms that the migraine brain exists in a state of heightened excitability, even between attacks. Not sick, not broken, but sensitized, like a fire alarm calibrated so finely that steam from a shower can trigger it. The alarm is working. The threshold is just set too low. And here is the part almost no one talks about openly. That threshold, how excitable your brain becomes, is not fixed. It shifts, it as-is, it falls, and it is influenced by factors that have nothing to do with the triggers on that list. That is what we are going to unpack right now. Insight 1, your brain is running on the wrong fuel. Magnesium. Most people have heard this mentioned in passing and moved on, but here is what they were never told about why it matters. The migraine brain uses magnesium at a significantly higher rate than a non-migraine brain during periods of stress and neural activity. Studies published in the journal Headache found that up to 50% of people experiencing a migraine attack showed measurable magnesium deficiency in their brain cells. Even when their blood magnesium levels tested as normal, blood tests looked fine, brain cells were running on empty. This is why standard blood panels miss it. Dark leafy greens, pumpkin seeds, almonds, dark chocolate. These are the foods that replenish what your migraine brain burns through faster than most. Magnesium glycinate, specifically that form, crosses into the brain more effectively than standard magnesium supplements. That one detail is worth more than most migraine handouts in existence. Insight TWO, the hormonal window nobody names. If you are a woman between the ages of 40 and 55, this next point is for you specifically. Estrogen stabilizes the migraine threshold. It keeps the brain sensitivity calibrated, and in perimenopause, the years leading into menopause, estrogen levels do not drop smoothly. They fluctuate wildly, and every sharp drop in estrogen can drop the migraine threshold with it. This is why many women find their migraines become more frequent and more severe in their 40s, even with no other change in lifestyle. The trigger did not get worse. The brain became more vulnerable to it. This is not a weakness. This is biology that deserves a proper conversation with a doctor, one that includes hormonal history, not just a prescription pad. Insight 3, sleep is not what you think it is. For the migraine brain, too little sleep triggers migraines. Most people know that, but here's what almost nobody talks about. Too much sleep triggers them too. The migraine brain does not want more or less. It wants consistent. Research from Harvard Medical School shows that disruption to the brain's sleep-wake cycle, even by 90 minutes on a weekend, is enough to shift neurochemical levels that influence migraine threshold. This is the reason so many people wake up on a Saturday morning with a migraine they did not see coming. Set a consistent wake time, including weekends, and protect it like a commitment to your own brain. Not because sleep is good for you in general, because the migraine brain requires a neurological rhythm that irregular sleep quietly destroys. Insight 4. The one thing most people consume daily that keeps the threshold low. This one is the most counterintuitive point in this entire video, and I need you to hear all of it before you react. Caffeine relieves a migraine. Most migraine medications contain it. Most migraine sufferers reach for it, and it works in the moment. But daily caffeine consumption, even at moderate levels, gradually narrows the blood vessels in the brain, and when you miss a dose or simply drink less than usual, those vessels dilate rapidly. That rapid dilation is a direct trigger for the cortical wave we described earlier. You are not just drinking coffee to wake up. In many cases, you are drinking coffee to prevent a withdrawal migraine. Your brain has quietly become dependent on creating. A study published in Neurology found that consuming 3 or more caffeinated drinks per day increases migraine frequency by a measurable and statistically significant margin. The fix is not to quit overnight. Gradual reduction by half a cup every 3 to 4 days allows the brain's vascular system to recalibrate without triggering withdrawal. That one adjustment has changed the migraine frequency for thousands of people without a single change in medication. Consider someone who has lived with migraines for 15 years. They have the medication. They know their triggers. They have built their life around the possibility of pain. They cancel things. They pre-apologize. They carry tablets everywhere. And in all those years, no one ever explained the threshold. No one ever said, your brain is sensitized. And here is how sensitization is managed differently from pain. That gap between managing pain and reducing sensitivity is measured in years of a life lived smaller than it needed to be. But here is what changes when someone understands this fully. The migraines do not disappear overnight, but the space between them grows. The severity drops. The fear of when the next one comes begins slowly to loosen its grip, because they stopped fighting the pain and started understanding the brain. And that shift from reactive to informed is the difference between surviving migraines and genuinely reclaiming the life they quietly stole. Your migraines kept coming back not because your body was failing you. They came back because no one gave you the full picture. The pain was real. The brain behind it was simply never properly explained. So here's the question I want you to sit with today. Not when will the next migraine come, but what is my brain's threshold right now? And what am I doing or not doing that is keeping it low? That question leads somewhere different and somewhere better. If this video gave you something real, subscribe to the Health Code. Every week, _1 video that explains what your body has been trying to tell you in language you can actually use, because knowing your body is not optional. It is the foundation of every year you still have ahead of you. Know your body, add your years,